All right, we're going to begin our factoring of trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. And when we're factoring trinomials of this form, one of the methods of doing this is to use a little trick where we are going to multiply the product or find the product of the first and the last terms. So the x squared term and the constant term, we're going to find their product. So for this example, we would find that product of 12 times 2. Now once we find that product, 24, we're going to find the factors of 24. So we have 1 and 24, and we have 2 and 12, and we have 3 and 8, and we have 4 and 6. And now we found all the factors. Now, just like when we were factoring trinomials with the leading coefficient that was 1, we're going to look to the sign here to find whether we need a sum or a difference. So we need a sum, and we need that sum to be the middle term, 11. So we're going to use the factors 3 and 8. And what we're going to do is we're going to factor this and make it a 4-term polynomial by rewriting negative 11x as 3 and 8. So we're going to write with a negative 3x and with a negative 8x. Now you don't want to give this any thought whatsoever. Do not consider, oh, should I write 3 first? Should I write x first or 8 first? Just write them down. So now from here we're going to factor by grouping. So we're going to factor a 3x from these first two terms, which is going to leave me a 4x minus 1. And then from the next two terms, keeping in mind that I have a positive negative, I'm going to factor out a negative 2, which is going to leave me with a positive 4x, and then minus a positive 1, or excuse me, minus 1. And then we're going to factor out the GCF from those two terms, which is a 4x minus 1. That's my GCF, so I write it down. And then I get prepared for the binomial, right? I have a term here and a term here. And now from this term, I'm left with a 3x. And from this term, I'm left with a 2. And then we can check it, right? 3 times 4 is 12x squared. And then outside's negative 8. Inside's negative 3, and then negative times a negative is a positive, and there we go. We've factored that trinomial with a leading coefficient that wasn't 1 by grouping. Now let's try it again. Now this next one of the things that you're going to recognize is that this is a little bit more difficult because we have a lot bigger product. And when we see a lot bigger products, this is why we indeed want to have a different way of factoring these, ones that we will later on talk about. So we have 12 times 12, which is 144. So we have 1 times 144. Or we have 2, and then 2 goes into 14, 7, 2 goes into 4 2 times. Or we have 3 will go into 14 4 times with 2 left over, so 48. Then we have 4 will go into 14 3 times with 2 left over, and 4 will go into 24 6 times. And then 5 does not go into it, 6 is going to go into it, 6 is going to go into it 24 times. 7 is not going to go into it. 8 will go into it 18 times. Oops, 18 times. And then let's see, 9. Does 9 go into it? Yes, 9 will go into it. So 9 goes into 14 one time with 5 left over. So 16 times. 10, no, 10 doesn't go into it. 11, no, and then 12 times 12. So now we're looking for those factors that give us a difference of 7. So we're looking through here for differences of 7, and we're going to see 16 and 9 give us a difference of 7. So we'll rewrite this as 12x squared, and then we need to make a positive 7. So this is where we have to be careful. It's a positive 16x and a minus 9x. Now the order of those doesn't matter. What matters is that we have a positive 16 and a negative 9. And then again, we're going to group here and group here. So from the first two, I'll take a 4x out, leaving me with a 3x plus 4. And then from the second two, I'm going to take a negative 3 out, leaving me with a 3x plus a 4. Be careful on those signs. And then I'll take my GCF, 3x plus 4 out, and that's going to leave me with a binomial